battles and I live. Ah, we are one. I got faith.
Listen, been too long. No improvement or the movement in your song. Your whole generation now facing the mirror wrong. Black to reflection, introspection gone. No culture in your youth, no truth to move on. You're stuck in that ratchet bracket, can't hack it. And haul long, or black or haul, y'all. They went from being kings and queens to being pawns, just to entertain. Up that stream with no paddle. Pimped by the game, never survived the battle. Lost divine names, now them shaking like a rattle. Gripped by infants insane, lost like Seattle. They shackled till they dazzle babble, till dead mammals in the gravel. We remembering, the past is remembering. The melanin assembled in your melanin, resembling the skeleton. Your Uber groover, never settled in the devil meddling. Forever represent past and the future for the betterment. True level regiment, writing New and Old Testaments. False narrative timelines can't blind my mind's measurement. Take a look back, find a lifeline development. No coffin carry elements. DNA are evidence of divine residence. Sankofa holder, past and present to the future molder in the present.
Long, I'm missing you, baby.
Look back.
Been too long. I'm missing you, baby. Been too long. I'm missing you, baby. Been too long. I'm missing you, baby.
Sankofa.
Been too long.
Sweet Sankofa. Yo, I'm going back to flow forward. Seeing where I come from, the Nile flows northward. Been so long, Sankofa. What is the people who forget their culture? So the Akon and Watusi, Benandogan and the Shona, Medunater, Amhari, are tuned to your persona. These words and these customs bring our memories intact. From Trinidad steel drums to smooth Anita Baker tracks. They told me go back and get it. You know that I was with it. The land of art and science, astronomic, golden liquid. Some said we ain't supposed to praise the stars. We still grow in shades of raw naturally. This Yimmy y'all feeds us everywhere we are. Not from idols that we bring. We knew and love the nature of the Most High and everything.
Been missing you, baby. Sankofa. Been missing you, baby. Sankofa. Been missing you, baby. Sankofa. Sankofa.
Been too long. I'm missing you, baby. 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 Been too long.
Came out the portal, immortal into a human body. I've been existing way before the earth had Anunnakis. Intergalactical battles, intergalactical travels, infinitely going through stars. The universe will unravel all of its secrets. Peep it, I'm starting to leak it. Time for truth is coming 100, it's time to seek it. Expanding my perception through the spectrum of light. I'm going in with spectrum and the shit's out of sight. We indigo children, yeah, we building frequencies through the ceiling. Penetrating through reality, a marvelous feeling. Regardless, we're healing these humans that be claiming we demonic. The resonance goes over their heads, we super cosmic. Your logic is ignorance mixed with fear in your thinking. My pineal gland is flooding, son, that shit don't be blinking. Sinking into your subconscious like a song with no words. The way I come up with these symbols of letters is absurd. Hey yo, my rhymes are like angelic beings. The shit is freeing, so pure that if you were born blind, I'll have you seeing. Breathing in a multi-dimensional light so captivating. Double helix is nonsense, so what I'm activating. Feel the power from within, seeping right through my skin. From the earth into my feet as it goes up to my chin. It got me grinning, rotation like spirals, my music spinning. I told you that I don't be playing, still I'm always winning. Fibonacci to the haters, curve them right to the side. They don't understand the energy, it comes from inside. So inside is what I master, used to be a disaster. Now I'm gladly elevating to a whole new chapter. Yeah, I'm giving birth to a whole new style. I incarnated through New York, yeah, I rep Long Island. Don't get it twisted though, I'm truly repping this earth. I came to free all these humans and show you all what you're worth. Immortal. Yeah, raising your frequencies one soul at a time. As I pass this mic to my boy Spectrum, yo Spectrum, light that up, kid.
They tried to tell me I'm mortal, I told them I was immortal. They asked me what makes me different, I asked them what makes you normal. I just followed my morals and I unfollowed the formal. Hopped on a track with crews, now we straight cruising through portals. I download the Metatron, I'm reversing it till I'm dead and gone. If you think I'm dope, then you said it wrong. Not trying to flex, but I'm hella strong. Mine did things you never seen. When I say mine, you know what I mean. I'm the most when I'm in my mode, and y'all average is like the mean. I really didn't mean to go intervene. I'm the middleman chilling in between. You should do the math, we ain't keeping score. But I just hit a 3.14. I cook it up, make it look easy as pie. I'm moving in silence and seeing the sign. I am the G. If you remove me, all you gon' see is your sins. This is a big game of six. The simulation is breaking again. I'm taking control, creating my soul. And if the truth fits, I'm breaking it in. Breaking it. All I really know is that I'll never know. I've been here for forever, don't know when to go. I think that indicates that I'm an indigo. In that case, I'm in the go. Green light, my heart, chakra booming. Solar plexus, Lexus zooming. You assuming that I'm human. I'm just being what you doing. I've been teaching teachers frequently. It's apparent I'm a parent when it comes to raising frequencies. The way I'm living life, I haven't rest in peace recently. Immortal with my technique, but my ego dying easily. Death is teasing me by leaving me with DMT. Now it seems to me that everything I see is seeing me. Life is just an infinite circle with a twist. I used to wanna be like them, now they do not exist.
Immortal.
Peace and love to everyone. Welcome in to Melanin Frequency Vigil, and also the 52 Acts of Unity. As you have known, we have been transmitting since the fall equinox of 2019. So we are still in the year of divine unity, and we all gather and meet each and every Sunday, daily at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ashe. I hope I am being heard. If so, please indicate in the chat so I know that you hear my voice. So in the year of divine unity, we embody our natural love frequency, living as one in divine unity on earth. We embody our natural love frequency, living as one in divine unity on earth. And in the year of divine unity, we embody our natural love frequency, living as one in divine unity on earth. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe-O. Thank you all for that confirmation. I did see that. So I'm glad we are all on the same page. So with that, I will introduce myself. I'm going to be the host this evening. Big shout outs to you guys. I missed y'all. I think you guys missed me too. Yeah, I haven't been in as much, but I am the host star this evening. I am Kin 122, and I empower in order to communicate, commanding breath. I seal the input of spirit with the overtone tone of radiance. I am guided by the power of heart. Ashe. And I am so honored to be in the MIMEC priesthood, and I am the priestess initiate of the MIMEC priesthood. So, shout out to all of them, and thank you all from the priesthood who has been covering for me as well, and just been coming on up here to host. You guys been doing an amazing and awesome job. I thank you all for that. So with that, we are going to read our mission, of course. So MIMEC Melanated Immortals. Our mission is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of divine frequency beings with immortal health and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. Ashe. Ashe and Ashe. Oh. So we are currently on and in the Red Dragon Wave spell. So happy new 260 Sacred Spin. I don't know if I've heard or seen and spoke with anyone, but yes, happy. I'm excited for this spin. So it's been dope already. So yeah, we are on Kin 4, the yellow self-existing seed, and we are going to read this 3 times. As you guys, please read it along with me as well. So I define in order to target measuring awareness. I seal the input of flowering with the self-existing tone of form. I am guided by the power of universal fire. You define in order to target measuring awareness. You seal the input of flowering with the self-existing tone of form. You are guided by the power of universal fire. We define in order to target measuring awareness. We seal the input of flowering with the self-existing tone of form. We are guided by the power of universal fire. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe-O. So with Kin 4, briefly, we're going to go over the Destiny Cross really quick. So the guide for Kin 4 is Kin 160, that is the yellow self-existing sun. Below is the emotional body, and that is Kin 257, and that is the red planetary earth. And then over to the left-hand side is Kin 134, which is the white self-existing wizard. That is the mental body. And then the physical body, which you will see over to the right-hand side, is Kin 95, and that is the blue self-existing eagle. Ashe. So that all makes up Kin 4. So we are going to slide on into these announcements. Definitely grab your pen and paper if you do so, if you want to get your screenshots and anything else that will, jot down all of this information. We have a few in-person events coming up. We also have some live online sessions, and we have some dope items in the meta shop. So I'm gonna just play the announcements, and you guys stay tuned. So I'll be right back.
Day awake, I am today. Daily acknowledges the act of God empowering me to breathe. Represents more time to live. Amazing I am shows the wonders of light shining on my face. Healed from afflictions, distractions, and manipulations of this world. Strong I am today as the sun shines, wind blows and rain falls, reminding me to stand each test time. Wise I am today to see the truth at face value and walk with confidence, knowing.
Heptats of weed, daily supplies. Heptats of weed, daily supplies. Heptats of weed, daily supplies. Heptats of weed, daily supplies.
Okay, so I love that song. But hopefully you guys got all the information or any events that you would like to be a part of and any opportunities that come up in that you see and you want to reach out, definitely do so. And if you missed anything, always feel free to come and email us or reach out as well, and we'll get you the information for that as well. So we have the 52 Acts of Unity, and this is the manual, and we also have the youth workbook as well that goes along. So as you know, we are on Act of Unity 49. So we are coming to, I don't want to say a close, but we are completing all of these acts, and it's been amazing to see and go through them all. So here is the information if you want to have that. So just a reminder that, this manual has been helpful as we went through the 52 acts, but it's always a great source to have even after we're finished and go through it once again on your own if that's the case. So that information is here for you. And also the 52 Acts of Divine Unity, and that is the youth workbook for the young ones. So, okay. And then we have the wet sacred bundles and packages. So I'm not going to go through all in each and every tier. However, there is different ones and different options that fit you. So take a look, and the everything has been great. The yoga mats, all the books are amazing. So once you decide on which one you would like, reach out and grab that tier and all those healing packages that's here. So that is the bundles and the packages, and it's going straight to support High Priestess Mut and all that she has been doing and everything that she's been pouring into us as well. So all the information is up here as well. And we have the one and only Orisha Stones. So that is on the website. You have to go over to the Meta Shop and you will see them. If you see anything on here, you want to go check it out, definitely do so. I mean, like immediately, because when I tell you everything that comes in, it leaves fast too. So I would say go check all those beautiful jewels and artifacts out. And Orisha Stone always comes in with the best and greatest quality. So shout outs to you. Thank you so much for all of that you have been doing. So, oh, look at my priesthood. So I want to introduce the Nurture faction. So with the MIMEC priesthood, we have a lot of different factions. And if you've been going through the 52 acts with us, a lot of each and every one is pinned towards a different faction that comes and helps bring out the presentation and all the information that is needed for that act of unity. So, this one that we are going to get into, we are going to, this is hosted and presented from the Nurturer faction. So, we have Priestess Initiate, Kin 42, that is Priestess Nikita, and Goddess Nikita, I should say. And then we also have Priestess Initiate Moon Goddess Ambrosia. She is Kin 181. And then we also have one of our primes. So the prime is Priestess Mut Mayat Nefer Habeeb'ullah, and she is Kin 178. So, I mean, they are always the Nurturer faction. They do their thing. I'm always like, peeking in over there to see what's going on. Um, and I love all that they have done. They also have done the orientation for us, and they broke that down into 4 heptads. So just shout out to you guys. And I want to correct myself. I believe, I'm not sure, but I wanted to, for Priestess Initiate, Goddess Nikita, she's Kin 43. She's the blue self-existing knight. So, but with that said, I hope you guys are ready. I think they have a nice presentation for us. So I'm going to yield the mic and sit back and get my notes on as you do so as well. And I'm going to yield the mic. You guys ready? Okay. Peace and love. I'll be back.
Peace to everyone this evening. Give thanks to you, Dream Star. Okay, I'm about to call you Dream. No, that's Priestess Nikita, Priestess Initiate Nikita. But to you, Ken, Priestess Initiate Ken 122. I want to say Star Goddess. That's what I want to say. Star Goddess. For everything that you have been doing, for setting the platform, for holding the frequencies, for being a leader, being a guide, setting the tone for the melanin frequency vigils, as we've gone through how many years now? 2, 3 years or so, like that. That you've been dedicated and committed to being in the space, giving honor and to you, and also to all the hosts who have come through to fill in for the spaces where you may not have been available. Yours truly stepping in the gap, definitely to Moon Goddess Ambrosia, to I believe we've had Priestess Initiate Yak in 141, to who else have we had to stand in as host? I want to say, for some reason, um uh Priestess Initiate, no, not Priest Initiate 221 may have hosted a melanin frequency at one point in time. Definitely Brother Akil, Ken 38. Want to definitely recognize him, but definitely give honor to High Priestess Ma'at M. Makaru Amen for giving us the opportunity to move up, move forward, evolve into more of who we are, fulfilling our purpose here in the melanin frequency. And then for her vision of creating these acts of unity that we have been moving through. And yeah, you said it right. We're near the end. We're now on 49 tonight, and we got 50, 51, and 52. Just 3 more heptads, which will have its completion when we get to the convergence, and then we move into a whole nother 52 vigils that we'll be moving through, and we'll find out what that focus is going to be. Thank you. Thank us. Thank we. I am, as you heard, Priestess Mut Mayat Nefer Habeeb'ullah, the prime for the Nurturer faction, and the selectee for tonight's frequency act of unity. And I am Ken 178, White Solar Mirror. And my affirmation is I pulse in order to reflect, realizing order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the solar tone of intention, and I am guided by the power of timelessness. So if you don't mind, could y'all please confirm in the chat whether or not you're hearing my voice quite all right? If so, I would greatly appreciate that. Hope I am coming through clear. I hope I am coming through clear. Anybody, let me know if I'm coming through clear. So with that, hopefully I am. Hopefully, I hope so. Okay, give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks for that confirmation. Thank you so much. All right. So, just a few more announcements. Like you heard me say at the convergence, we're going to be we're going to be finalizing the acts of unity, and then we're going to be bringing in the new 52 Vigil. But this is more than just that. This is a time where we come during the fall equinox on September the 18th through the 20th in the Georgia mountains, the Blue Ridge Mountains to be exact. And we want you and you and you and you to be present. If you haven't already RSVP'd, I believe there may be a couple of more beds open and available. You definitely want to make sure you let us know your intentions and that you are planning to be there by RSVPing on the melaninfrequency.com website. RSVP at under events, yes, for the convergence. If you only plan to come for one day, which likely would be that Saturday, we definitely want to let you know that is only an $88 cost for the activities and everything that's going to be going on. But we really want you there for the whole time. If you are able, that's $222 to cover your bed, your lodging, your food, the activities and everything. You just need to get there, okay? Get there and be in the space. And when I tell you, it is a time you don't want to miss. You really don't. You don't want to not receive the renewal, the healing, the evolution or the evolving or the connection, okay, with everything that is going to be happening during that session and the lessons. Ashe, because there are instructionals, but there are some definite elevations that are going to be happening. We also want you to go to the website and take a look at the membership tiers that we have available. The biggest discount, the biggest value that you could ever make, investment that you can ever make to yourselves as well as to the universe and the mission that we have here in MIMEC is the all-inclusive one. Okay, you can't get a better deal than that because that one includes all the other tiers that you see here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, there are bonuses available to those who sign up for, I believe it's the all-inclusive. Well, all-inclusive includes all the other ones, but the divine and maybe the integrator levels. But definitely when I tell you, regardless, the savings is phenomenal. You get classes in each one of these tiers, except for the first one. The Explorer is just access to the live sessions and a couple of other little things there. I will not sit here and read them in detail because we want you to explore them all. All right. You can come in the doorway, get yourself grounded, come in as a seeker, come in as an integrator, or go into your divinity as a divine, one who's ready to manifest the things that you speak and see and or stand for in your purpose as one of the 260 expressions of the creator. So we look forward to seeing you in more and more of what we are doing in MIMEC. Ashe, Ashe. So I'm going to expand my screen and we're going to just follow up with, the last heptads frequency and active unity, which states, as the legacy holder of our families, we authorize the exorcism of all unnatural causes of disease and of, let's see, what is that? Traumas. Anybody facing traumas? Anybody dealing with some issues in their tissues? You know, it definitely reminds us that being legacy holders is not only about preserving what our families gave us, okay? Because some of us, you might look at it as a generational curse or something like that. But what we have the ability to do is rise up above all that. It's also given us the ability to decide what we should no longer journey with, travel through within our bloodlines. We have control over this, right? And last heptad, it was High Priestess who brought this in and broke it down to us. What we need to hear is stand on is that every family carries something worthy of continuing, right? And nearly also every family carries a pattern that definitely would need some healing to it. The first way to get to that is to, one, recognize it. So these things that may cause some kind of blockages could be silence. It could be fear. It could be addictions, unresolved grief, unhealthy relationships, financial instabilities. Some of us may have, come up through the bloodline with as a inheritance with an inheritance, and some may have come up the line with debt on their shoulders, chronic stress and or belief that suffering must simply be endured. Pause on that. So for the next couple of minutes, I want us all to invite us to speak openly, not to basically expose or blame our families, but also to consciously protect our futures, the future for ourselves, the future for our descendants, as well as the future for our ancestors. So we're going to invite you all to the stage. If you have any shares of what may have come through to you over the last heptad of simply what unnatural pattern or trauma or condition are you willing to speak to, this the fact that it ends with me, okay? It ends right here and right now. And what healing practice or truth or new tradition will you intentionally establish in its place? Okay, because where one door opens, another one closes, right? So we want to make sure that we are taking the initiatives, all right, or the putting the attention to whatever initiatives that we are placing to literally do just that. All right. So anybody, you can just come up. If you don't want to come up and say it, share it in the chat. All right. Share it in the chat. What maybe one word, one sentence, or a personal experience. Your perspective may give someone else a courage to recognize that they have what they've been carrying, what they've been holding on to, and the power of what it takes to release it. When it all comes together, it's said and done. All right. All right. Do we have any volunteers that want to come forward? Nobody? All right. Well, here, I have something I remember. And my children are in their early 30s right now, mid and early 30s. And I remember when my oldest was just an infant, and I began to awaken. Okay. And at that time, I was walking the Christian walk, and I called myself saying, with her, it ends. With me, it ends, but with her, it will not return, you know? And so I called myself, you know, giving her back to God, our creator, and asking God to help me to raise her the way that God would want her to go, not the way I wanted her to go, but that she would not carry within the bloodline the afflictions of the bloodline that I had to travel through to get to that point. And doing so over the course of her rearing, as we would call it, raising her up in the way that she should go or grow, I began to see that the commitment or the um, direction, you know, that she was journeying in was literally adhering to what I had vowed or what I had requested of our creator. At that time, I didn't know really truly who I was until I got to this place in life. But to see her now as the self-existing mirror that she is, Ken, 238, I now understand better, you know, how that came to be, that she did not repeat the acts of the bloodline. However, it skipped a generation because even though I called myself christening my youngest daughter, you know, and just to give you an example, I had my oldest daughter at the age of 20. And so my goal was to not have her do the same thing, right? But then my youngest daughter ended up doing it. So it skipped a generation. In and of the same, you know, each of us has our own journeys to walk through, and the lessons that we gain, or how our eyes are opened to those afflictions that come through, we literally have to be able to speak to it. We literally have to be able to um, set the foundation for it. If we're going to be and see the changes that we want to see by moving through this mission that we are here dedicating ourselves to, we got to be able to acknowledge it. You know, and when we acknowledge it, then we can overcome that fear, or we can overcome the addictions, or seek the help that we need to in order to be able to release it and put a stop to it. And it stops with us as opposed to the next generation. So, as legacy holders, we have to say this. And if you don't mind, you can repeat me. Okay, we have someone in the space, and I will save that last comment. Much gratitude to you. If you don't mind, you can turn your camera off, and then I'll pull you up to the stage. Or no, yeah, if you want to, it's up to you. You are up here. Peace and love. How are you, FRB?
Ashe, peace, peace.
I'm going to yield my mic to you. Go right ahead.
Oh, well, y'all know I'm very new. I'm very new. I feel like I'm two. So, and I was looking at the title, and do my children feel loved, or do they just know that they're loved? I don't know. Let me turn this down.
We're not on that one yet. We're going to go through that. Right now, we're reviewing last heptad's frequency and giving everyone an opportunity to reflect on it. But hey, you try to volunteer to talk about the next topic, you know, frequency wave 49.
Oh,
What do I need
my
to step
apologies.
aside?
My apologies.
No, that's okay. Do you have any shares about the exorcism, you know, being a legacy holder for the exorcisms of things that unnatural things that may have happened in our bloodlines?
I had my first child at 22, and I didn't know any of this, none of this. My daughter, she did the same thing, had her first child at 22. So now I have the little star seed, she's 6, and I'm a generational curse breaker. So I broke that generational curse. We won't be repeating that cycle of um, single parenthood, um, not knowing who you are before you lay down with someone, and just all kinds of garbage that I'm not allowing anymore in the soul tribe. So I'm trying my best. So, I'm single and I'm doing my best. I have three. My oldest is 36, my youngest is 23, and I have two star seeds that are 6 and 2 years old. And I'm single, so I'm really trying to do my best to. It says I'm a generational ancestral curse breaker that has broken generational curses. It's on my wall. I was trying to look at it from all bloodlines and timelines from my ancestors and us today. I think I'm the first. I've never done anything like this. All of this is new. Like I said, I feel like I'm 2 years old. And I love it all. It's overwhelming, but it's a good overwhelming. I love learning all of this. So thank you all. I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for you all.
I'm just Asheing you. Ashe. I like that you have on your wall. Could you repeat that one more time for us?
Generational ancestral curses that I have broken. I got but I have broken and ended for eternity and infinity from all timelines and bloodlines. It's ignorance, poverty, doubt, unaware contracts, deception, trauma, resistance to abundance, and unalignment, and listening, because listening is so important. I'm on this thing where people perish from a lack of knowledge, and some of that has to do with listening. And y'all, I'm trying to get my children to listen, and I'm just not in control. And I'm trying to go by lead by example. It's tough. It's tough because my children are not 2 and 3 like they're going to just do what I say. I'm dealing with a 36-year-old, a 28-year-old, and a 23-year-old. And I can't even get them to open the bank accounts to receive their inheritance. But it's okay. They're going to come around. They're going to come around. The creator is going to work on them, and they're going to, because my daughter's complaint is, you should have did this a long time ago. But I didn't know any of this, and I'm doing it now, and they don't understand. It's cool, though. We're going to get it together.
Ashe, you look at that as, or this is how I would look at it from my perspective, is each and every one of us has our own journeys to travel, to walk through. Okay. But our goal is to be the ones to plant the seeds, okay, and light the way. If we can just do that much, it doesn't matter when they pick it up or when it begins to root and then grow. The fact of the matter is that don't stress yourself on trying to, like, what, speak it into them or beat it into them or nag at them about the changes. It's more of just being a light. So don't stress yourself over where they are in their journey, because of where you are. It's an amazing thing. It is an amazing thing that you tapped into more of who you were created to be. Just be that light, and continue to do what you're doing. Put the information out there. If that's as best as we can do now. Definitely the control part. If you try to keep, I've experienced this. If we continue to try to control how they receive the information that we give as parents, then, they may give pushback, and we don't really want that. However, sometimes, being leaders of our or matriarchs within our families, it comes with time. And then they begin to respect the wisdom that comes through when they really begin to see the fruits of your labor. So just continue to press on, sis. You got this. You got this. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your share.
Yeah.
Peace and love. All right. That was awesome. That was awesome. All right, y'all. So with that stated, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna that was the reflection. No one else has come up. We're gonna go ahead and move into the frequency for this eve. Ashe, Ashe, and that is, I'm gonna go ahead and magnetize my screen again so I can see this. Frequency wave number 49. All right. Before I do that, let me say this. As the legacy holders, okay, we must withdraw our permissions from the inherited harms that came to us. And then at the same time, authorize all healing, all truth, all wholeness in order for us to flow, in order for us to begin, with ourselves and flow through every single generation that comes. We want the words that we speak, like we just heard FRB say, to not just start with her first generation children, but her second generation, third, fourth, fifth to come. And that is how we look at fulfilling our missions as legacy holders. It doesn't just start with the children that we have today, but like I am nurturing my grandchildren now, and they are taking a hold of what we're doing here in MIMEC a whole lot easier and better than my daughters are taking hold. So it's not like we drop the children, but picking up from those who are in that most impressionable, age, whether they are your nieces and nephews or your grands or cousins, still, you know, we have this opportunity to be witness for the declarations that we are setting today and forevermore. All right. So as we're moving now into our frequency wave 49 and active unity number 49, the message we're bringing through is our children are the most loved, brilliant, self and parent honoring than they have ever been. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. So let me minimize the screen a little bit more so I can see a little bit better. And I'm going to bring up the presentation slides for this evening. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. So if you have any questions, I just want y'all to know I'm magnetizing the screen. So hopefully, if you have any comments in the chat, they'll get posted up. Otherwise, we'll go through them, once I demagnetize the screen. Okay. So thank you. Yes, definitely. Definitely. You want to make sure you get the 52 acts of unity for our divine youth. And I think we posted that up during the announcement. So if you get a chance, you can it's through Gumroad that you would purchase the Youth Divinity 52 Acts of Unity workbook. All right. So now, does providing everything mean a child feels loved? And I do have some poll questions for us this evening, get us a little interactive. This is literally going to be more of an interactive melanin frequency vigil. So y'all just work with me here. I want some interaction in the chat. I want y'all to respond, to some of the questions that may come up. If you don't mind, please do that for me. It's definitely going to help this flow a whole lot easier. So Children most loved and parent honoring is what we're talking about. How can we deepen our love and respect between the generations, right? So, our frequency wave is declaring to us that our children are the most loved, brilliant, self, and parent honoring, right? More than they have ever been, ever, 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 ever. So tonight we're going to just look a little bit deeper than that and the declaration that we are stating for tonight. Some children grow up um, with very little, materials, and they know at the same time that they're deeply loved. And others, they may have all the newest fashions, all the high tech materials, beautiful rooms set up for them, everything just set out and ready. They get to go on vacations, and then they get to be involved in all these, activities and everything outside of school, even in school. All their physical needs are met, and still emotionally, they are alone. So it's not just a conversation that we're about to have, right? It's about whether or not we as parents are making the best sacrifices ever. Parents sacrifice a whole lot. All right. But the deeper question we want to ask is this: does the child experience our sacrifice as love? Period. All right. We're going to be exploring the difference between providing for the children and connecting with the children, and how that connection can eventually cultivate a genuine family honor that we're speaking of in our wave tonight. All right. So, in one word, if y'all don't mind, what made you feel loved as a child? If you could think of that and put it in the chat, I would greatly appreciate that. And then too, if Priestess Initiate Star, if you don't mind posting the responses on the screen so that I can see that as well, I would greatly appreciate that as well. And then after that, we're gonna move on. I'll repeat that question in one word, just one word. What made you feel loved as a child? Mm, reassurance, Ashe, quality time, Ashe. For me, it was presence. I had a lot of lack of presence for me. Give thanks for those comments. So, we do know provision is very important. Material things, unfortunately. That made you feel loved. All right. Um, yeah, yes. Sometimes, yes. So, what makes a child feel most loved? Provision is extremely important, right? But connections is what makes love visible. I'm a hugger. Yes, hugs and acknowledgement. Much gratitude for that. Ashe. So, let's start with realistic family. Let's start with the realistic family situations, okay? Imagine a child has a safe home. There's food, there's clothes, we got the school supplies are all set, transportation is available, their physical needs are even being handled, okay? But can something still be missing in this? It's important because sometimes adults think that if we provide everything, then how could we possibly say that they don't feel loved? All right. But Acts 49, Unity Act number 49, is asking us to become curious enough to discover what actually makes a child feel loved. Let's see. Let's see. So I'm going to bring up the first poll question. All right. If you don't mind, click on the answer that best suits your response. That first poll question is, a child has food, has clothes, and has a home. What may still be missing? If you want, you can put your answer in the chat. I don't mind. Or just click on the poll question. I think it would be fun because we've got a new way of doing these things. The first option is affection. The second one is listening. The third one is encouragement. And then all of these. We got 100% all of these. Okay, I like that. All right, all right. All right, your next question is, all right, everybody's saying, all right, let's say, still 100%. All right, I'm going to hide this one and I'm going to bring up the next one. A parent works hard but rarely connects. What does the child need? Do they need more gifts? Do they need more rules, more presents, or more activities? All right. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun. Oh, 100% more presents. Ashe, ashe. Give thanks. Okay, gonna move on to the next one. Y'all are doing great. Somebody said 2 and 3 more rules and more presents. All right. Well, they do need the rules. That's for sure. All right. Which home may have everything but still lack love? Is it the big house and the little connection? Is it the small home and strong bond? Is it the busy home and open talks? Or is it the strict home and clear care? Which home may have everything but still lack love? Big house, little connection. Ashe, 100%. Ashe, I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. Ashe. Oh, somebody said strict home and clear care. All right, we got a militant, a disciplinarian in the house tonight. All right, I'm going to bring up the next question. What helps a child feel secure in a struggling home? Is it consistent love, expensive gifts, few rules, or staying silent? Consistent love, 100. Okay, are y'all cheating? I'm just kidding. You can't cheat because these are your answers, but everybody, see, this is why we are kin. Ashe, this is why we are like-minded individuals. I love it. Thank you. Thank us. All right, we got 2 more questions and then we're going to move forward. What tells a child you matter to me? Is it listening? Is it noticing them? I notice you. I listen. I notice you. I make time. Or all of these? What tells a child you matter to me? Ashe, all of these. 100%. All right. And then the last question is, what matters more than buying things? Is it presence? Is it attention? Is it emotional safety? Or all of these? What matters more than buying things? Presence, attention, emotional safety, or all of these? Ashe, Ashe. Got 100% for all of those. Ashe. Much gratitude. Thank us all for participating. It was a very successful poll. So, thinking back to a child, the very first question, a child has food, clothes, and a home. What may still be missing? And everybody said all of these to affection, listening, and encouragement. So, none of these is to actually minimize provision, but provision is definitely important. However, shelter is what tells a child you have somewhere to live. Food tells them your body will be fed. And the emotional connection that we provide them says, I see you, I hear you, and that you matter to me, period. All right. So, keeping all those in mind when we are communicating with our children is very important when we ask them those questions. What makes them feel loved by me? Not just what makes them feel loved, but what makes them feel loved by me. All right. So, we've got the needs met, and we are, let me see, did I complete needs met? Yeah, I think I completed needs met. So, we're going to move on to don't ask or assume, or to just ask and don't assume. All right. When do you feel most loved by me, like I just stated? And what do you wish? This is what you're saying to the child. You're asking them, what do you wish we did more together? Y'all, I did this with my grandchildren when this all came to me. And I pulled them in my room and I said, do you feel loved? Do you feel loved by me? I even asked them to ask each other, answer that question for each other. What makes you feel loved by your sister, or what makes you feel loved by your brother? And the answers that came out were like, wow. To get those kind of responses from the children, it's an eye opener to the parent. What do you wish we did more together? What do you wish you did more together as siblings? What do you wish I understood about you? Now, I didn't ask that question to them, but I did ask the, feel most loved part. And the responses were different, yet profound. My grandson was like the fact that there's always food in the house. He's 12 and he's growing, so he eating us out of house and home. So he liked the fact that, he go in the kitchen and just take everything everybody else wants, right? But at the same time, it's still, we got to get him on we got to proportion stuff. You can't just go in there and get all the fun stuff, and we don't have anything, you're not sharing with us. But what this does is, what this act is doing is giving us a simplest and most hardest assignment. True is not true, it is. We ask the child, we don't want to ask them, don't you know I love you? We want to say something like, when do you feel most loved by me? Then we have to listen. Woo, we got to listen. And sometimes that listening can come through a facial expression. It can come through a movement, like they sit back and they got to think about it. Yes. They might say, when you hug me, y'all know I'm a hugger, for real, for real. They might say, when we cook together, my grandson loves cooking. So I take him in there and I even might write down a recipe of how to do something real quick and easy on an index card, and he'll go in there and he'll prepare it. He likes to do things on his own, but he also likes to have the attention of someone being there to coach him through it. And then when we play games together, so they'll sit on my bed and we'll play Uno sometimes, or Go Fish or something like that. When you don't interrupt me is another thing they might say. When you tell me that you're proud of me. My grandson came and he likes to take a pen and draw and do beats with the pen and the table, or pen and a book or something like that, and he does beats. So I recorded him when he came to me the other day, because we spent the weekend together and the strong end together. And I was like, hold up, keep doing that. And I recorded him. And then I was like, you want to, because he came to me, he said, Mima, I got an African beat. And I tapped into it and I was like, you know what? You right about that. And so I told him, I said, take my djembe drum, baby, and go in there and practice a beat, because I wanna record it when you get it all together, when you got your rhythm and all of that. And so we worked that out. Because I told him we might be able to use it here in MIMEC one day. So their answers, right? They don't automatically mean that we failed. We want to make sure that when we're listening, that we're not looking at their responses, even though they must be, they 9 times out of 10 they're going to be the most honest answers. The first thing that comes out of their mouth is going to be the most honest answer they can give you, right? Not what you want to hear, but what's really in their hearts. But we got to be willing to listen to it and realize that it's not meaning to break us, it's meaning to make us aware. We haven't failed, but they're giving us information that gives us the opportunity to love them more effectively, right? All right. So listening does not remove the adult authority. The listening is actually giving us the authority to have better information about our relationships. All right. So which of the 3 questions that you see on the screen will be the hardest one that you think that you could ask your children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews, mentees, and so on and so forth? When do you feel most loved by me? You know, what do you wish we did more together? And what do you wish I understood the most about you? Those are some very important questions that we really should be taking note of in how we are communicating with our children to make sure that they feel loved in the household. Okay. So then we go in to tell them what we see, what qualities that we admire in them. And so if you've done this, it would be awesome if you could share. If you've ever said to your child, one quality I admire in you is, and you fill that blank in. If you want to share it in the chat, you can do that. Because I do this with my grandchildren all the time, because they amaze me all the time. My granddaughter, with her insight or her empathic abilities, she taps into my grandson out of nowhere. He just brings me water. I didn't ask, but he just brings me water. I'm like, what are you, telepathic? You know? He's like, what's that? So I had to break that down to him. But I admire the fact that he's in tune to the needs in the household, except for the ones that we really want him to, like, take the trash out when you see the thing is full and we got to constantly tell him take the trash out or something like that. But the natural nurturing, insightful abilities, my granddaughter, I promise y'all, she's a contortionist. That she can just take her body and just do all those amazing things, and flips and rolls like a gymnast would do. And she's never had one day of training on it. So we acknowledge to them that we see it, and then we name what it is that we see, and then we affirm it by supporting them, or we affirm it by telling them. Ashe? So what we're doing here is also listing the qualities. Yes, Lordy, that one to grow on. All right, Ashe, Ashe. Um, Asking, to create a list of qualities that we admire in our children, and then to actually give it to them. My granddaughter loves it when I write her chores down on a piece of paper and number them. She works better by checking them off as she does them. My grandson, on the other hand, he's a different one. He wants you to be in the space with him when he's doing his chores, right? So we can't always assume that children know what we admire or what we want, because a lot of times they're relying on us to be the example, or they're relying on us to give them direct instructions sometimes, you know so then we have to sit there and you know think about how frequently our children are literally hearing us instead of hearing the word stop, don't, why did you should have, now imagine intentionally balancing the way that we correct them and the way that we recognize how they are receiving what we're telling them to do. We have to go in through and say, not only, the stops, we say, now you're smart. You're smart. You're smart. So I know you can figure that out, or say, I admire your determination because I watched you keep trying when something was difficult. My granddaughter has this thing where she, if she feels like she can't get it right the first time, she just puts it down and walks away. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I know you can do that. Take it one line at a time, especially with her math. She loves math, but she wants the big problems, right? She wants the three, 6-digit problems, where she's having to add and subtract now. And now she wants to challenge herself with, at 7 years old, learning multiplications. And she's thinking addition is too easy. So she's like, I want some multiplication, Mima. So then I'm like, okay, well, not only we're doing the additions, you want to make sure, that you get that foundation under you, then the multiplication gets easier, right? So we say, you're a good child. Instead of saying you're a good child, say, I admire your compassion. I watch you notice, somebody was left out. She does this so well, I watched you notice somebody when they're at the playground left out or by themselves and playing, and she just goes and grabs their hands. My grandson, he sees a group of guys out there playing ball and he just runs out there like he's already included. And so it's a great thing how they, can see themselves, and recognize their own characteristics when they interact, not just with others, but when they interact with us. Instead of being in a big house, and everybody got their own room and they in their own spaces, being independent, doing their own thing. When you come together, what are the conversations like? Right? So here I want y'all to complete these sentences. It should take less than a minute for us to do this. Put your responses in the chat if you don't mind. One quality I admire in you is, and if you think about it, it don't matter what child you're thinking of or, that's in your heart in this moment, but put in that chat one word, one quality I admire in you is. All right. The next one is, I saw it when you, and then fill in that blank. I saw it when you. One quality I admire in you is, and then finish that sentence. And then I saw it when you, and you're speaking to your child. And then you finish that sentence. All right. So the positive outcome to all of this is that we want our children to know, not to assume, but to know. And that the adults around the children don't only just recognize their mistakes, but they also recognize what they are becoming. All right? Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. All right, let's move on. So then what builds the genuine parent-honor relationship? We got some polls to go through with this one as well. Fear demands obedience. Straight up. Honor your mother and your father so your days will be long. Character can inspire honor, literally. Now we come to the other side of the frequency wave here. So, parent honoring, what does that actually mean? What does it actually mean? Does honoring a parent mean never disagreeing with the child, never questioning, never expressing hurt, never saying that an adult is wrong? I don't believe genuine honor is created through fear. I really don't. But sometimes they say, what, you spare the rod, you spoil the child. Ooh, there is some truth to that. However, it does not take putting your hands on the child in a negative way to get the point across. Honor becomes stronger when the child repeatedly sees the adults living the principles that they are asking the children to demonstrate. Be an example, okay? Creativity. You drew a tree and entered the school arts. All right, all right. Ashe, ashe. If we ask the children for honesty, they need to witness honesty. And if we demand accountability, they need to see us take or being accountable. They need to see us taking accountability for our actions. Ashe? And if we expect respect or respectful speech, then they need to experience respectful speech through us. Okay? So now I'm going to bring up the next set of poll questions. Y'all ready for this? Let's do this. Let's do these poll questions. Ashe. So, what builds honor more than demanding it? Y'all select. Is it good examples? Is it strict punishment, family status, or financial support? What builds honor more than demanding it? Good examples, 100%. Ashe. All right. Much gratitude for that compilation. All right. Next question is going to be, what makes or what weakens a child's respect for a parent the most? Is it broken promises, hypocrisy, humiliation, or all of these? That's a heavy one. What weakens a child's respect for a parent the most? 100% on the all of these. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh, all right. So the next one we have, a parent provides everything but is emotionally absent. What may end up happening? Deep connection, emotional distance, more gratitude, or stronger trust? A parent provides everything but is emotionally absent. What may happen? Emotional distance. Ashe, y'all think about that one right there, because that's some heavy stuff. Could be in the same house and yet don't even know your child. We hear a lot of that going on. I remember hearing something on the news about a 14-year-old girl killing her mama instead of shooting up the school, which is what her plan was. Like, where was mama? What helps restore honor after family conflict? Is it honest apology, more control, avoiding the issue, or blaming the child? What helps restore honor after family conflict? All right, we got 100% on the honest apology. Give thanks for that, y'all. I think we got one more question. All right. What should children see in adults before being asked to honor them? Is it integrity, accountability, respect, or all of these? I know y'all know the answer to that one. That was too easy right there. That was too easy. I think we went over that in the last slide. Ashe, Ashe, give thanks, give thanks. Much gratitude, much gratitude, much gratitude for the answers to the poll questions. So with this, we had in these polls the one question, what builds honor more than demanding it, right? We had good example, strong strict punishment, family status, and then financial support, right? So now consider this. Can a child disagree respectfully with a parent and still honor that parent? You can answer that in the chat. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Can a child disagree respectfully with a parent and still honor that parent? And I appreciate everybody's participation. Thank y'all so much. Absolutely. So, can we demand honor while behaving dishonorably towards the child? That one right there reminds me of the do as I say, not as I do, that came from, my parents. They do as I say, not as I do. Can we can we as parents demand honor while behaving dishonorably towards the child? All right. So honor then becomes more sustainable when it is molded, cultivated, and mutually understood. So think about it like this. If we are not molding honor, then how are they supposed to see or know what honor looks like? All right. Ashe. Ashe. Y'all are on this. Y'all are on it. Y'all are on it. Oh my goodness. But it also, it brings pause to, we might even be witnessing some parents exemplifying, the opposite of what we're speaking about tonight to the children. Is it our responsibility to maybe be able to, at some point in time, pull that child aside to give them the right way, or the loving way, or the caring way, the love that they are seeking, in order to understand better, or understand, for some, how to honor the parents or be honoring to their parents, regardless of what it looks like on the outside. So then we see here, repair is not a weakness. It's okay for us to say, I was wrong. It's okay for us to say, I could have handled that better, or to just pull them to the side. Okay, now we need to restore our trust. You got some teenagers and you put them on punishment or whatever, you discipline them, and they're like, some of them might even come to the level of saying, I hate you. I hope that would not happen, but I've heard it happening, you know. Then there comes a time in your lives where they could be in their 20s and you in your 40s or 30s and 50s and 60s. And I had to do this with my mom, to sit her down and say, I have to be honest, and we need to restore our trust to each other. Can I trust you, or you can trust me? But there may still be a conflict, right? And children will still make mistakes. Adults will still make mistakes. And then sometimes both sides need to come together to contribute to the resolve and or the release. A healthy family's life isn't the absence of the conflict. We all got challenges to face with each other in our families, as we do within ourselves. But it's the developing and the ability to repair after the conflict, where growth, where love, where respect, where accountability, honesty, all that becomes, to the light or comes to the light. Okay. So then we as parents say, I was wrong, or I could have handled that better, right? Or we could say something like, the boundary still stands, but I should not have spoken to you that way. We could go off on our tangent, be going in on our children and say, you should have, better, blah, 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 and for that, you disappoint me. For that, I'm disappointed. Or for that, you're on punishment, whatever. But sometimes those words get strong or stronger. And you end up saying something that you got to go back and think about. Could I have said that differently? It does not make the situation any it doesn't make it any different. It's just how we look at it or approach it. It doesn't make us any weaker, or it don't make us weak at all, because we stand our ground on what we're saying. At the same time, we could have said it differently. What that does for us as parents is it demonstrates integrity. Okay. Yes. So we can have sharp tongues at times, but at the same time, in order to demonstrate integrity in that which we are as parents, we take accountability for our actions. Say what we mean and mean what we say. It's not going back on what we're saying or the way that we are demonstrating the lessons to be learned, but the integrity in what it is that we are exemplifying to them, right? It teaches them accountability belongs to everybody. The part you play and the part they play in the outcome of what has happened in that moment in time. So the repair part of all of this, the positive outcome, is that your relationship becomes valuable enough to restore. Literally, it becomes valuable enough to restore. So which takes more strength from us? Is it providing that you're always right, or repairing the relationship? Does the parent always have to be right in the choices and the decisions and the judgments that they make upon whatever the child is doing? Or is repairing the relationship where the strength comes in? Those are things we needed to, okay, put within our minds when we begin to restore or want our children to be honoring children, all right? Honoring all adults who are exemplifying, higher standards in life, what we're guiding them to, better characteristics, what we're leading them to, accountability for their actions and the words that come out of their mouth, because we know the words are spells. So whatever they speak over themselves, the way they think about themselves, coming from us being first in their lives to lead the way. through integrity and honesty and accountability and respect. All right? Keeping all those things in mind. So our children extend beyond the home, period. When they are out of your sight, your thing is always, oh, I hope they are not misbehaving and all this, that, and the other, right? Love becomes a community practice, period, point blank. It don't stop with just our biological children. Our teachers, thank goodness for Priestess Initiate, Moon Goddess Ambrosia, working in the classrooms with our children. That's a humongous task. But our unity partners here in Melanated Immortals are asked to identify 3 orphanages where books or valuable information can actually be shared and or to make the impact sustainable by supporting them at least 3 times each year. 3 times a year, not a month, not a week, but a year, right? Depending on the communities that we live in, the principles can also include a youth shelter, a foster program, mentoring organizations, schools, families. I mentioned the nieces and the nephews, the cousins, and all of that. Family resource centers or community youth organizations, all those are included, right? The key is how to make what we are doing sustainable, all right? Not just by showing up once, but that we literally establish a relationship, not just with our biological. And even if you don't have biological children, there is still a responsibility that we hold for the community. All right? Common unity that we are establishing. All right? So a donation is an event, a one-time event. It's a donation. Donating your time, donating your efforts, donating your actions, maybe donating your money or gifts. But sustained love becomes a relationship. And that's how we establish parent honoring children. I'm a parent when it comes to raising frequencies. That's in our Immortal song. So then let's ask each other who, what, when, and then again, as I stated in one of the other frequencies that I've spoken through, who follows up. Not a one-time thing, y'all. It's not a one-time thing. Ashe. So here, love, trust, honor, and legacy. This is the outcome we want to impact upon each other and all others. Who we're not just here creating the perfect family, all right? We're cultivating conscious families, like-minded families, common unities amongst each other, right? So now let's connect everything together. When children repeatedly experience the love, the honor, the respect, the integrity, the accountability, they have more opportunities to develop the security that they need and probably even yearn for in order to develop the parent honoring system that we are helping to instill in them. Mindsets, not system, mindsets that we're helping to instill in them. Security makes honest communication easy. We want the communication with our children to become honest and pure. And communication helps strengthen the trust. Ashe, I realized that with my 12-year-old grandson getting ready to go through purity, for him to have the level of purified level of coming to me when things are happening to him or to his body and he feels comfortable coming to share it with me. It really, you know, makes my heart be like, whoop, butterflies and just all kinds of, joy that he feels comfortable coming sharing things that I have to go, some things that I have to go to a man to say, okay, when he asks this question, what am I supposed to say? Right. Um, but that trust creates that fertile ground for respect. He respects my listening ear. He respects the words that's coming out of my mouth to be truth and honorable. And then genuine respect can mature into honor. And then something even greater begins to happen. The children begin to carry forward what they have experienced. Ashe, ashe, ashe. And now that's where we have entered into legacy, because when they begin to honor you in that manner of trusting that they have an open communication level with you, and that you're not going to browbeat them or chastise them for asking simple questions. You may think they know the answer, but hey, what's wrong with repeating yourself, right? So the goal isn't to say, my child obeys me. The greater thing, the greater goal that we should be looking out for is, what healthy family pattern are we creating that this child will know how to carry forward? Period. What healthy family pattern are we creating that this child, that my child, that your child will now know how to carry forward from generation? Remember, we talking about generation to generation, you know, descendant upon descendant upon descendant, and they just continue to raise those vibrations, those frequencies. Parent honor is not simply something that adults receive, it becomes more of a legacy that the adults help cultivate. Starting now, starting from our ascendants, starting from our parents, our grandparents. They helped shape and mold us to have the thought processes that we have. And then we come into awareness or wakefulness, and we see that there is so much more to the whole umbrella of how to do this. And then we begin to break it down, get down into the bloodlines, and then we realize there are some changes that need to be made, and then we begin to work through those changes and remove some things that no longer serve us, and then we take it to the next level to say, this is how it needs to be fixed, dissolved, resolved in order to evolve. And then we go back to what our poll questions were saying. The first one asked what children need to experience. And then the second one came through to ask what honor might look like coming back through our relationships. What we're looking at here on this slide is simply the bridge between them all, them both, all those poll questions. Love becomes trust, trust becomes honor, and then honor is then what produces the legacy. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So now we just need to make this love visible. Hands down. How we do that? By asking, what makes you feel loved? Affirming, tell them what you admire in them. Then go into the repair mode, restore one connection, just one connection. Yes, it might be many that we need to restore, but just start with one. Then extend love beyond your household. You know, they always tell us to get your home right. You know, get your home right first. Don't be trying to bring your stuff outside and all that kind of stuff. But no, we got to love beyond what's in our four walls. Get yourself right. Then work on your family. Then work on your community. Think about that philosophy, because that's what that is, right? So for the next 7 plasmas, all right, we don't need 50 assignments. Like I said, we just need to make 4 intentional movements, and that's what you see right here on the screen. Ask these questions to your children, your mentees, your foster kids, your nieces, your nephews, your grands. Ask one child, any child, what makes them feel loved. Just give them that moment and just listen. Listen to their heart. Be empathetic. Be sympathetic. Be loving. Be kind. Name a quality, and then you affirm with them, name a quality that they genuinely admire in you or in someone else. It may not always just be in you. And then you choose one interaction that needs restoration, and you can literally be that person to help them restore it. I've leaned on High Priestess to help me restore something with my mother. All right? Extend to them to join, to become, may not be a unity partner per se, but just partner up with them. Be that go-to accountable person to be able to, for them to be able to come and identify where the love in the relationship really falls, so that they can continue to move beyond, or you can continue to move beyond the household. The goal is not perfection, period, point blank. It's actually to establish a conscious practice that then begins to take root. Like we were sharing with FRB earlier, just plant the seed, right? But then when we follow up and just continue to express our integrity and be the change that we want to see, then it begins to take root. And then we begin to see the fruits of our labor as it continues to bud, and as we continue to go back and water it with our level of dedication and commitment to correcting things, or to establishing things, or to building these wonderful relationships with our children and children's children. So what one action will you begin to take? All right. If you want to, you can share it in the chat. I don't mind. That will cause a child to experience your love, your love, your love. Not merely know that you love them, but they literally experience your love. Okay. All right. Write it down on a piece of paper, share it in the chat. It's totally up to you, how you decide you want to express that, but just ponder on that part. All right. And this is the end resolve. This is the declaration of really what we want, what we're doing here in MIMEC to look like, as we are shifting the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population. We want to see all of us being able to come together, where our children are seen, our children are heard, our children are protected, and that their brilliance is always going to be recognized. Y'all hear High Priestess talk about her babies all the time. I talk about my babies all the time. How often do you talk about your babies? Okay. Do we recognize them not just in private, but in public? Are we honoring them not just in private, but in public? What we got to do here is we just got to model the honor that we desire to receive, period, with the T on the end, point blank. All right. So if y'all don't mind, you can, as we're closing out here, I'm going to do a call and response with you. You can type it in the chat, acknowledging, that you with me on this. But when I say it, you type it, or when I say it, you say it out loud in your heart, however you do that. All right. Just a call and response. Let's do this. Our children are seen. Our children are heard. Our children are protected. Their brilliance is recognized. We model the honor we desire to receive. We model the honor we desire to receive. Why is this, you guys? Thank y'all for that. Our children are the most loved. Yes, they are. They are brilliant. They are self and parent honoring more than they have ever been. If you can say that, 100, I'm gonna go back to our wave for today and say it like all the way from here and all the way from your sacral and your solar plexus, even down to your root. Say it straight up from your heart, your throat chakra. Okay, bring in all that you are and say this frequency wave number 45, allowing this here declaration to be the final imprint that you hold for us to continue to shift the global consciousness, build a magnificent, brilliant future for each and every single one of us. I ain't gonna say the book stops here. No, the book don't stop here, because we all gonna still have, challenges and so forth, but those challenges eventually become our gifts so we can continue to evolve. But it has definitely been my honor and my pleasure to be with each and every one of us this evening. Whew, y'all's participation has been the most amazing. I want to say thank you on top of thank you for your shares in the chat. I want to say thank you on top of thank you for your participation as a whole. These comments have been amazing. Did we have any questions that came throughout tonight? No? No? Okay. I don't see any in the chat. Ashe, much gratitude. Priestess Initiate, Moon Goddess Ambrosia. Yes, much gratitude. So I will now go ahead and hopefully y'all took heed to those charges to work in and through how to shift out of instilling fear to cultivating accountability, how to shift out of instilling fear to cultivating accountability, looking in the mirror first. One, we got to face whatever is in us that, like it may come out through habit, and one of the things we know, in order to get rid of a habit, what we got to fast it out of us, right? Do that shadow work or something like that. But the shift is the realization, the acknowledgement, the fact that it is something that exists, right? I think you can order it. You might even be able to order the youth book through the website or through Amazon, but I'll double check on that for you. How to shift out of instilling the fear to cultivating accountability is, it starts with you, the temple, The medicine, the mother is the medicine. The woman, the divine feminine, is the medicine, is the hospital, is the temple where it all begins. So we got to go within, right, to begin to remove whatever tactics may be there or have been there that were instilled in us, all right, and dissolve it, to resolve it. And then after we take that and we've basically reformed it or shifted by speaking how it is that we want it to become, you know, literally say, instead of this is how we gonna do this. All right. And it don't have to be harsh, but at the same time, sometimes being stern and direct is what's needed to get the point across, but it doesn't have to it doesn't have to be replicate what they call verbal abuse. Okay. But it's instructional and it holds integrity because one, I like to explain to them the reasons why I'm disciplining them. And I get them to tell me the reasons why they're being disciplined for whatever the act is that they may have done that was wrong in my sight. I get them to explain why they did what they did. Okay. And then if as long as they can explain to me why they did what they did and I explain to them why they're being disciplined and then they come back and repeat it to me, that helps me to understand that they know that they're being held accountable, you know. So being consistent with that measure with my grandchildren has definitely become a blissful interaction between us. But it's also, we got to stick to our words. Verbal threats come, they go in one ear and out the other, but if you don't stand on the integrity of the words that are coming out of the mouths, then you know they may begin to take advantage of that, and then boom, we fall into a whole nother thing. Ashe, Ashe, we got that battle with that word consistency. So Ashe. Hopefully that answered that question. The 52 youth, definitely you want to make sure you visit the website. In the meta shop. If it's not in the meta shop, then it's where you got to go to the Melanin frequency site. Ashe, Ashe. Yep, there you go. Give thanks. mimic.gumroad.com/1/YMI. That is where you can purchase the 52 Acts of Unity Divine Youth Workbook for the children. Give thanks. Give thanks. I forgot I put that over there in the banners. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe. So I will now turn everything back over to our hostess with the mostest amazing. Peace and love, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, you did an amazing job. This was so dope. I enjoyed this one. It's just to sit back and, love on these children is the best thing we can do. Children are our future, right? But I want to give a big shout out again to the Nurturing Faction. Thank you all so much for all the dedication and the work you've been putting in and everything you've been putting together for all of us. And of course, a big shout out to you, Priestess Mut, Mayat Nefer Habeeb'ullah, for all you've done and coming on in with these presentations, with all the information. So much love and gratitude. And then, of course, gotta thank High Priestess Mayat. She's, always been able to create these books and give this all to us, and for us to be able to come into a space together so we can unite and learn and still, have her be coming to the presence even when she's not on. She is still the work that she has put in for all of us. So thank you, High Priestess. You know, she's still out on her tour. She's out doing her win thing. So she's spreading all the love and knowledge out into this world. So much shout out to her. So I thank you all again for coming on in and joining us another heptad. So we are on mission 49, which means you know, we are really getting close. So with that, I do want you guys to stay tuned and stay to the end, because this is the opportunity for us to collectively seal in the frequencies and the transmission of this Vigil 49. So we are one, and through our unified focus, we will amplify our intentions. And we will energize the symbol of the sigil that we will be bringing up, and strengthening all of the unity that we have been put together and we have been collaborating and doing together. So we are aligned with our minds, our hearts, our purpose, and our presence. And we are fulfilling this mission as one. Ashe. Ashe. So, yeah, let me go over here. So, with that, like I said, we will be joining once again next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in the year Divine Unity, we embody our natural love frequency, living as one in divine unity on earth. We embody our natural love frequency, living as one in divine unity on earth. And in the year of divine unity, we embody our natural love frequency, living as one in divine unity on earth. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe O. So, with frequency waves 49, our children are the most loved, brilliant, self and parent honoring than they have ever been. Ashe. And that is the frequency wave 49. And we will be staying tuned for the sigil. So, we'll be getting that on up. And thanks once again. Peace and love.
We are spreading the word about an energy vigil dedicated to the betterment of melanin-dominant people worldwide. It is called Melanin Emerging Collective Consciousness Alignment. As you know, there are groups across the world that pray and meditate for global peace and love. Though this has benefited the world, it is obvious that more is needed to dissolve the systematic and individual oppression of melanin-dominant people worldwide. Our collective is transmitting frequencies right now. Each week, a different melanin-dominant group is accountable for generating and holding the frequency. We began transmitting on Fall Equinox 2019. To find out more or get involved in this movement, check out our website at www.melaninfrequency.org.